So today we're gonna talk about a camera frozen, and if you had a G3 Flex and G3 Dome, the software just crap out on you. I'm sure this works for other camera as well, but I don't know 100%. But I'm gonna demonstrate on the G3 Flex because that's what I had an issue. I just want to walk through with you what I did to fix that problem and to get that back online and running again. Now the first thing is, if you were able to get that device to factory reset to the manufacturer ready to adopt to your controller, that's a good sign, right? If it's frozen, if your software is not like what it should, like this one particularly, this one is correct, but I'm just showing you what I did so you know what to do as well. So it's a legacy device, so I'm gonna remove it and delete the footage that's recorded. It really isn't important because I just fixed it and I want to make a video about it. So once that device come back online ready to adopt, we are gonna go look for the IP address for that particular camera so we can get that running. Now I did 10.0.0, just typical, but you normally will see default 192.168.1. something else. If that was your case, then you do you, okay? If you're connected through PoE injector and connected through your laptop, which is I suggest you could do, it actually worked once. But anyway, while you're here, don't click on anything. As the ChatGPT said, don't click. But anyway, I do not see this camera. Oh, here it is. It just popped up. So I'm gonna see it says click to adopt. Do not click on that. We're gonna click beside it, and we're gonna look for the IP address for this particular unit. Right here is 104. Okay. So now what we know the IP address for this device, for this sucker, we're gonna go into the new browser because your IP address could change based on if you had that device locked a specific IP. For me, I did not have a configure to have a fixed IP address. Okay, so we're gonna just leave it at 104. And then you're gonna have a prompt message to tell you it's not safe, blah blah blah. It's okay if you know what you're doing, right? So you should be fine. Now this is where ubiquity gonna do. So your password gonna be all lowercase, okay? So UBNT password UBNT, okay? Once you click on that, you want to make sure you just hit sign in. Okay. We're gonna say not right now. Okay. So this is what you see once you log into this. Once you log into this, all hell gonna go loose because we technically didn't unplug from our UDM switch or UDM 24 port switch. We are using over our network. Make sure you're connected to your same Wi-Fi network. I do not. If that's your Wi-Fi name, that you're gonna connect to that. But anyway, make sure you are connected to it. If you don't, I'm sorry. So basically, we're going to go to this one right here. It says setting, okay, system, okay, system, and we're gonna scroll down to the very bottom. It says firmware. Now, if your firmware is at 4.2.5 like I am, you need to go into the UniFi support page and look for this particular one. Don't download anywhere else. But if yours is G4, G3 Dome, you need to look for G4 or G3 Dome or whatever your particular model number is. If you download anything else, that's just not gonna happen. Also, don't download the latest firmware 5.1. So if this was, let's say, released in 2025, okay, you want to go into either 2022 or 2020 or 2020, what person initially released. Because if you download this, it will just say file too large and can't accept it just because I don't know why. So long story short, what I did is I download this one into my download file, and I will show you. So once I download it, I just basically click on upload file. This is on the Mac. I assume it's the same on Windows. So anyway, you have the UVC, blah 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 .bin, right? So you want to go into here, and then you want to click on that, and then you see they don't let you downgrade it because it says unsupported file now. Okay, so we're gonna go down to that. It still says unsupported file. What that happening is, what I believe is happening is it won't let you downgrade on this particular software. But you can see once you download it, if your firmware is lower than 4 point something, it had to be a higher. So that's just a demonstration. Once you successfully upload it, you can see 4.75, and this is the firmware that I have. So I know I got the latest firmware. So if you have same problem, hopefully that helps you fix your problem. And it sure make me very happy was able to get that up and running. Now, once you know you've done your successful update, all right, you want to make sure you close this thing and reopen it. Well, because I did not push software update and all that stuff, right? Once you know you successfully updated, and then before you adopt it, you want to make sure your camera fully powered on. Once your camera fully powers on, you want to click adopt, okay? Once you click adopt, they will check for update right here, instantaneously check for update. If your camera is frozen or whatever, like what happened to me, it's frozen, it will just go offline, it will not record, it will not do anything. You want to make sure you have a stable firmware. Once you have stable firmware, you will have, it says update. For me, I update for 4.3, right, to 4.51 to 4.74, and then back to 4.75. So long story short, that's gonna happen. Okay, once all those update is done, pushing update, doing whatever it's doing, you can just see what happened. It went offline, right? Don't panic quite yet because it's rebooting. It's gonna go offline for at least 30 to 1 minute, and that's exactly what happened to me. So once it go offline and boot it back up, as you can see, you should be fine, and everything should be in order, and everything should be online. So when it says preparing for update, you need to make sure you leave it alone. A very important key feature is that you need to make sure this particular camera had to be either on a UPS for during the update, a very important, a very stable UPS, because you want the UPS to, even if the power failure or whatever, you want to make sure your UPS connect to the camera, and also make sure your UPS also, the modem for the internet connect to the UPS as well, so there's no software issue glitch. I'm just letting you know the TFTP did not work for me for this particular scenario. The TFTP was not successful, and I went to ChatGPT for this, and ChatGPT, you just had to know how to ask, apparently. So anyway, ChatGPT tell you to look for inside the UniFi controller for update button whatsoever, don't do that. Just because it doesn't work. I couldn't get a manual update. And I actually do have another one that I can show you. That I had another system. I'm gonna show you the update for that. Let's say how I get to that. Okay, so in this case, I need to also let you know that on this Protect, right? You also want to make sure you update this as well. Now, this is a Protect under a different service or different network that I manage as well. So you want to make sure you update this. It says up to date. Just because that happened in a glitch, they do seems frequently do the update, and don't also if the UniFi AI told you to go into the auto update, you can leave it off, you can leave it on. It really doesn't make difference because you can see we use the portal to the URL to update the software by uploading firmware to it. Now, once you adopt the device, right? Once you adopt the device, your credential for that particular login, it's probably going to be different. Okay? I'm just going to give you a heads up. So if you try to go back into it once you adopt it, you might not be able to successfully go back in. Just because, number one, the IP address is going to probably likely changed. Okay? Or the username likely changed based on your controller. They call that SSH. I don't know what that is. Stand for secure something. Not really in networking. I just know enough to be dangerous. So, all right. So the IP address for this is 103 now. See, that's what I'm talking about. 103. So we're gonna go see if we can log back in. All right, security prompt. We know what to do. Visit website anyway. Okay, so see, it's already pre-filled the password because I logged in when I did the prior reset, and I just happened to be at that. So anyway, long story short, once you adopt it, your login, it will be different. So also, they changed their logo from UniFi Video to UniFi Protect. So voila. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully that helps. If that does, please leave it down in the comment, and I will be so happy to help someone else. I know that's what we do in IT, share our knowledge.